Hello everybody, welcome to Halfspin, where we talk about the sport of knife throwing. Today I want to talk about AceJet's Kunai knives.
This is a really good all-around throwing knife. I am loving this knife. This knife throws well all styles. It's throwing great half spin, full spin, military half spin, and no spin. Man, military half spin, this thing comes out with a ton of force. All right, I'm gonna take a step back and do some military half spin. Whew, that's powerful. This thing digs nicely into the target. I am getting huge penetration, and it's just so easy to stick. I think no matter what, you can't go wrong getting the AceJet Kunai. No matter what your style is, you're gonna really enjoy throwing this knife.
One of my problems with kunai knives is the circle on the bottom is always really big, and so I thought for sure that's gonna get in the way of me throwing this knife no spin. How dumb to put this big loop down there because I'm gonna throw it no spin, it's gonna hit my finger, and it didn't do that at all. This knife throws so well no spin. I think I throw this better no spin than I do the AceJet Stinger. This thing threw beautifully half spin, and it threw really well full spin. Now, one of the reasons that it throws well all styles is because it's evenly balanced. It is not a blade heavy or handle heavy throwing knife, so you do have that nice even balance. And because of that, I can throw it well half spin and full spin. Now, when it comes to throwing it full spin, I gravitated to doing something kind of interesting. On the loop, I would hook my finger around the loop and I'd put my thumb kind of in the circle and I would do this little rotation thing on it. And I never thought of throwing a knife full rotation that way. But because it's rounded at the bottom and hooking my finger around it, I got a lot of control on how much this knife rotates. And what I learned was I can throw an instinctive full rotation just because of that. If I'm close to the target, I can hook my finger to make it rotate much faster, or I can make it rotate much slower if I'm further away from the target. And so I really want to play with that some more. I think that this has the potential to cause me to be able to throw full rotation from many distances because I can instinctively cause that rotation by just holding that little bottom part, by causing it to flick like that. The nice thing about this kunai knife is it's a thick knife, and so I have a good landing point for my finger. When it comes to no spin throwing knives, I like to have a thick spine because then I can guide it with my finger, and that really helps give me that control for no spin throwing. And so this kunai knife is a nice thickness. What is great about this is its weight. I mean, this point is very minimal. The knife itself is pretty minimal, and so it is a thick knife, it is a long knife, but it is pretty light. And so because of that, I can throw this no spin from many distances. I love throwing heavy knives, but in order for me to throw a heavy knife no spin at a far distance is quite a challenge. Because if a knife is heavy, over a long distance, it starts to sink and rotate. But with a lighter knife like this, I can really put a lot of power behind it and it could travel a further distance. And so I think this is gonna be my go-to knife for no spin for far distances. So far, the AceJet Stinger has been my favorite no spin knife. It's probably still my favorite no spin knife, but this has the potential to be a long distance no spin throwing knife. I encourage you to get out there and try that. I'm gonna start doing this a lot. I'll let you know how it goes, but I think this is gonna be my long distance no spin throwing knife. So what do I think of the AceJet Kunai? Damn you AceJet, you made a wonderful throwing knife. The second I started using it, I knew this was a great throwing knife. It works well all styles. It is fun to throw. And for those of you who are kunai fans, you still got that traditional loop at the bottom. Can you make a rope dart out of this? Yeah, you could. So this gives you all those potentials of a kunai knife without getting a stupid looking thing like this. This is definitely the way to go. This is not a real throwing knife. This is a real throwing knife. This is an amazing kunai throwing knife.
I enjoy throwing a lot of AceJet knives, but the kunai is moving up on my list. I am really enjoying throwing this. Towards the top of my list, I got, of course, the AceJet Stinger, I got the AceJet Viper, and now the kunai is up there. I really enjoy throwing this knife, and I enjoy throwing it all styles. Well, there you have it.